Welcome to the bold analysis. The message Rigathi Gachagua is spreading in Mount Kenya about the clamor for Mount Kenya unity is not new. And if you put it in a context, you'll actually realize that there is a trigger to this. But how is it really being understood? How are MPs and the public understanding the unity call? And that is what I want to tell you in this podcast. I followed Rigathi Gachagua's speeches today in Laikipia. What unfolded in Laikipia? And I understand clearly that what is being packaged as a unity call is actually a poison chalice that is going to crush the deputy president. I wish someone close to him shares this video to his advisors and his think tanks. Tell them some young man is saying something that you need to hear here, because this thing is very serious. There is a serious messaging and packaging of that Mount Kenya unity call. Let's go to Laikipia. I want you to listen to Mwangi Kiunjuri and Mutahi Kahiga. So they went to launch some Huduma Center in Laikipia West. And while in Laikipia West, they weighed on the national politics. And listen to what Mutahi Kahiga said, and a position which was a rebuttal from Mwangi Kiunjuri.
Na ninaposema hivi ni kwamba sisi tunakupenda kama naibu rais wetu na mtoto wa sehemu hii ya mlima na Nyeri kabisa. Na sisi tungetaka tutangaze hadharani, kila mtu akisikia kwamba tuko nyuma ya Daktari William Samoei Ruto tukiongozwa na wewe. Na wewe ambaye tungetaka Mungu akitusaidia kwenda mbele, mambo vile yatakuwa hayatawezekana kama hatuta support Daktari William Samoei Ruto. Wakati sisi watu wa mlima tunasema tunataka kuongea na tuko pamoja, sio sisi tunafanya mambo tofauti na wale wako Western. Juzi niliona Mudavadi amekaa na watu wao wanaongea, haikuwa na shida, ama kulikuwa na shida. Tukaenda Nyanza wanaongea. Hata Ngeno wako hapa atakwambia Rift Valley wakiongea wanaongea. Isiwe tu kwamba Western wakiongea ni sawa, Nyanza wakiongea ni sawa, Rift Valley wakiongea ni sawa, mlima ikiongea hapo ndio shida iko. Iko shida gani mlima hata sisi tukiongea? Kwa maana tu ungeaje? Na sisi tukiongea agenda yetu ni na agenda ni kusupport Daktari William Samoei.
Nikisimama hapa kama mheshimiwa Kiunjuri, niache kuongea maneno ya serikali ya William Samoei Ruto na wewe, nitakuwa napoteza hawa watu. Ni kweli tunataka umoja wa Mount Kenya region, lakini hii umoja yetu should not lead to anxiety to our people, should not create tension or panic to our people. We cannot allow tension within our own selves, because we are not united, to create animosity between us and other Kenyans. We cannot allow to be isolated by other Kenyans. We must solve our issues behind the tent. But we cannot come out clearly as if we are fighting the government of William Samoei Ruto. Me, I will not be part of them. Kwa hivyo sisi watu ya mlima, wakati unasema sisi tunashikana, tuanze kusema William Samoei Ruto ametufanyia kazi, hatuna shida na William Samoei Ruto, na shida yetu huku chini tupigane hiyo. Lakini vile tunaendelea inakaa kama tuko na shida na serikali kuu. Mimi na watu ya Gobit hatuna shida na serikali kuu. Sisi na watu ya Laikipia hatuna shida na serikali kuu. Kwa hivyo wajumbe, tuendelee kushikana ni sawa sawa Mount Kenya, but we should not create that tension. Tukiongea maneno hata ya African Union, kwani Raila kuna Mkikuyu ambaye amesimama kiti hiyo Raila anataka? Raila amesimama hiyo kiti, hakuna Mkikuyu amesimama. Tuangalie maneno yetu kama kuna kitu yetu inaenda. Kama ni ile serikali tuko, Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua deputy president anaongeaga na president every day. Tukija hapa kwanza kulia, tutaonyeshana kama kiongozi wetu hawako pamoja na rais wa nchi ya Kenya. Kwa hivyo tuchunge yale tunaongea, na tukumbuke serikali ni ya William Samoei Ruto na Rigathi Gachagua as the deputy president.
Very clear. according to Mutahi Kahiga, he's saying any other region meets, talks, speaks in unity. And by the way, that's a culture, that's aspect of a politics that we have to, you know, put ourselves in cocoons, in tribal, you know. It's a culture of politics. Maybe it's some time, maybe it's the new breed of politicians will do away with it, but we still have it. But my interest is on what Mwangi Kiunjuri is saying. And there seems to be, I listened to it, and I may want to pose that question to you and just tell me, who do you think Mwangi Kiunjuri is speaking on his behalf? Is he speaking on behalf of Rigathi Gachagua or on behalf of William Ruto? His point is this: while we are talking about unity, but we must be careful not to show the public that probably we are uncomfortable with William Ruto. And if you've been following Mutahi Ngunyi's tweets, I wish I can check some of his tweets here. Mutahi Ngunyi's tweets have been speaking about this, that you Kikuyus, Ruto has done you well, and I think I need to let me just get some of his tweets. It's not far. The tweets are here. Listen to his recent tweets. Dear Kikuyus, you are either on the table or on the menu. Half of Ruto's table is occupied by Kikuyus. He is a generous man, yet you treat him badly. Now the Luo nation is showing him love. They will be on the table, you will be on the menu. This is what Nani is saying. This is what Mwangi Kiunjuri is saying, that as we talk about unity, we should be careful that ikuwe ni sisi tunapigana hapa chini, but we don't have a problem with the president. Another tweet by Mutahi Ngunyi is just on the same. Dear Justin Muturi, this is when Justin Muturi spoke about the housing levy. Have you heard of the doctrine of collective responsibility of cabinet? You disagree privately, but support the collective cabinet position publicly. This is a constitutional convention worldwide. If you cannot keep it, you must shut up or resign. Simple. So that was Mutahi Ngunyi speaking about this issue of speaking about the Attorney General. Now, those two tweets, there is a sound, there is something coming out that people don't want you to say that Ruto is bad. That is what Mwangi Kiunjuri is saying. And while still after that event, Rigathi Gachagua decided to go and address a political rally. And I was so interested in this because, yes, I wanted to know, I wanted to hear, even if Mount Kenyans are not celebrating and are not yelling, marveling the way around William Ruto that they used to do, if it is Rigathi Gachagua, is it different? Guys, I wanted to listen to this and point out what's happening in that crowd.
Mimi na rais tuliahidi watu ya Laikipia ya kwamba ni kazi yetu kama viongozi kulinda mali na maisha ya Wakenya, na sana sana hapa Laikipia, kwa sababu watu ya Laikipia ni watu wako na bidii, lakini wamehangaishwa na majangiri miaka nenda miaka rudi. Watu wameuawa, mifugo imeibiwa, akina mama wamefanyiwa madhambi, wasichana wamedhulumiwa. Na mimi na rais tukasema tukiwa katika uongozi, watu ya Laikipia, watu ya Laikipia Magharibi, watu ya Ngarwa, watu ya Matweku watakuwa na amani. Na mimi nimekuja hapa kwa sababu leo jioni niko na mkutano ya masaa mengi na hao viongozi na maofisa wote wa usalama katika kaunti ya Laikipia. Na mimi nataka tukubaliane na hawa ya kwamba hakuna mtu yeyote ako na ruhusa ya kuchukua maisha ya binadamu mwingine. Hakuna mtu yeyote amekubaliwa kuiba ng'ombe ya mtu mwingine. Hakuna mtu yeyote anatakiwa kuuza mama isipokuwa ni bibi yake. Hakuna mtu wako na ruhusa kuchezea watoto wetu wa kike. Na hiyo maneno tumesema itafika mwisho. Na mimi nimeambia these officers hapa. Mimi nilikuwa hapa na nilikuwa mtu mdogo. Nilikuwa DO, nikaweka usalama hapa mwaka 2. Kweli ama uongo? Kuna mtu aliguswa nikiwa hapa? Nilikanyanga hiyo manjagiri vibaya sana. Na mimi naambia hii maofficers nitawapatia formula. Kwa sababu mimi kazi naijua. Na kama mimi nilikuwa mtu mdogo, nilikuwa nimelinda watu hapa wamekaa na amani. Na kungangana na hii watu na kudeal na hawa without mercy.
No, Rigathi was talking and they were just staring as if that Rigathi is an alien. Look at, you know, I'm even wondering, someone wasn't telling me, who was he talking to? The crowd is dejected and bored. The crowd is, you know, they're not interacting with that message. It's one of the coldest receptions I've actually had. And if Rigathi Gachagua is trying to establish his clout, but it's good. It's good he's making that trial. But looking at even how that crowd is staring at him, he's talking about security. That's the curious part. And the security is a role that falls under Kithure Kindiki. We'll look at that in some other analysis. I don't know why he's actually wading into it. And he's saying something that is a perennial problem in the region, in that area. But even with that, the public is not interacting. And you will know one thing. Huh? It is not now easy. You know, I was so interested because in that speech, he couldn't mention Raila Odinga. Without you saying Raila this, Raila that, you still can't. You still can't get the crowd yelling. There, if I am telling you, I'm not a prophet of doom, that in that when he was talking there, if he would have carried the microphone and spoke about how Raila Odinga is now has a handshake with William Ruto, and William Ruto should be careful about their government, this and that, you would have seen that crowd reacting. But when then talked to them about the things that really matter, according to him, matter to them, they did not. The crowd was bored. And that is why, when you pull Raila Odinga out of that question, many political careers are dead, both on Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. Now, I want us to get to this messaging crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, the DP is speaking about a unity. And remember, this is not a new message. This is not something that he's talking about for the first time. He's always spoken about the need for this unity, but it has been captured and now people ask questions. Some times back, there was a political storm when people demanded Ndindi Nyoro to be the running mate. Then, when that happened, he complained, asked William Ruto, and William Ruto rained some blows on those MPs, and those MPs kept quiet. But in fact, I even analyzed here, that discussion was gone. It was never in the picture again. But then, from nowhere, there is a new push for Mount Kenya unity. I want to explain for you and make sure you watch this part in details. Why what the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is actually packaging as a unity call is crushing him. Number one, UDA MPs package the Mount Kenya. There is a section of UDA MPs in Mount Kenya that is packaging the new clamor for unity as a show of discomfort with President Ruto. And that is why I've not brought this point from anywhere. I brought this point from the video I've had. If you listen to what Mwangi Kiunjuri is saying, he is differing with a section of MPs from the region who are speaking ill about William Ruto. And according to him, there is no problem with William Ruto. If there are local politics there, if there are local problems in Mount Kenya, it should not be William Ruto. And I know well. I can throw my guess. What Mwangi Kiunjuri was reacting about is a section of MPs, especially from Muranga, went and, even despite of voting for finance bill, they told their residents that they should not pay the tax on avocado. I know that is what he was talking about. And Mwangi Kiunjuri, and I think that was in Muranga. According to Mwangi Kiunjuri, there is no problem. Even if there is a tax on avocado, this has created a crisis. Even in, I think there is a sound in Kiambu when some people are complaining about the tax of agriculture. And this is what Mwangi Kiunjuri is saying, that because, you know, there is some seeds of discord, the UDA MPs package it as a protest. And people take advantage to say what William Ruto is getting wrong. But you know why? You know why this is happening? This is happening because the public is not comfortable with whatever is going on. That's the truth. The public is not comfortable with what the government is doing. And the ground is hostile for the sitting MPs. So if what your people will hear is the fact that you said William Ruto is doing something wrong, then surely what stops you from doing that? Just the same way Gadano Mushamba is doing it and nothing has happened. So that is the first reason why that UDA pitch, that unity pitch, many is being using, the MPs are using it to hit Ruto. And remember, the person to make Rigathi the kingpin, according to him, is a President Ruto. Number two, a clique of Ruto's inner circle perceive Rigathi's unity quest as just a selfish card, as an isolation card. This is it. Rigathi is going to mountain, a deputy president, saying, sisi watu wa Mulima, okay, want to unite around the president. Now, how about if you are saying that, but when you go to Mombasa, you don't talk about let's unite around the president. When you go to Mount Kenya, and I want us to get this part clearly, when you go to Mulima, you'll say, let's Mulima unite behind William Ruto. But the same deputy president, when you go to Mombasa on that drug abuse conference, you cannot tell Coastarians to unite around William Ruto. Do you really mean, the question here is this, because he's the person saying, he can't just go public and say, I want us to unite around myself. But in real sense, the deputy president Rigathi Gachagua is looking for a way in which the region can unite around him. That is the gospel truth. And this is what Ruto's circle perceive. And it's an isolation card because there are UDA from Kisii, there is UDA in Mombasa, there is UDA where? Across the country. Number three, Rigathi packages the unity, the Kikuyu unity, with some isolation card. Yes, pursuing interest. And there is a point of we are pursuing interest, and the school of thought that by the mere fact that he is a deputy president and William Ruto is his boss, and William Ruto got overwhelming support from the region, there is a clear understanding that he doesn't need that unity for things to happen in Mount Kenya. Question: do you think for those things he needs, for the prices of macadamia, for that avocado tax, for the coffee subsector reform to succeed, does it need the unity? No. Which unity? You are the deputy president. And maybe someone challenged me on this. I am not right. I'm not always right. I want you to tell me, if you are a deputy president, do you need the unity for things to get done? You know. Think about that. I'm not going to add anything. Lastly, Rigathi is clearly using this unity narrative to play kingpin politics. And the danger with that is that camps are emerging. There are people that also want to be kingpin and king queens. I understand they're kingpins and king queens. But these fellows are quiet because they're not seeing. The moment there is emerging contest on who is the kingpin and who is the king queen, that's what's emboldening the Ndindi Nyoros and the Moses Kurias, who are now organizing tournaments across Mount Kenya. So what is seen as a unity, honestly, and someone should share this podcast to this video to Rigathi's access advisors. What is being packaged as unity? Someone asked, are we disunited? I rather, in fact, someone should tell DP that he is planting the seeds of acrimony or animosity, because you've already gone to the ground. You want unity. But when you go, you tell those dividing us. So you're already creating an us versus them. If I was the person behind Rigathi Gachagwa's message in Mount Kenya, I will not address those I believe are dividing. I will not create an us versus them. No. What I would actually do is to say that we've had issues in the past of camps emerging, but now we are together. And go and present yourself as, I want to work with all. The people, the public know that there is a tug of war between him and Ndindi Nyoro. So when you're going to the public and making it like there is an us versus them, you're already creating, when Ndindi Nyoro is sitting back at home and is watching your videos, knows that, jamani nichezea, ananiita, ananirifa. It's not gonna achieve it. I don't know. That's my take. Let's look at the next video on infiltration. Thank you.